name is Daniella Rodarte. I'm a student at the University of New Mexico, and I will be your narrator today as I introduce you to the history behind the Gutierrez-Hubbell House located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I would like to begin by talking about the history behind the Gutierrez and Hubbell families. The Gutierrez family was a very wealthy aristocratic family that was very gregarious. They were mercantile traders. When James Lawrence Hubbell arrived in 1848, there was regular trade occurring on the mercantile trade route of El Camino Real. James Lawrence Hubbell was a militiaman who became part of the civil development in the Pajarito Valley area. He was 24 and married 16-year-old Juliana Gutierrez and eventually had 12 children. The property made its way from the Gutierrez-Hubbells to the Erdalls and then to the developer who sold it to the county of Bernalillo. Approximately 14 years ago, the existing family of Hubbells, the Erdalls, decided to sell the house to a gentleman who was going to develop it into a high-end restaurant. The Pajarito Village Association did not want that to happen. So, they formed the committee to save the Hubbell house in 1999. They were able to get the County of Bernalillo Parks and Recreation Department to purchase the property with the sole intention of keeping it open to the public. Bernalillo County bought the property in November of 2000 for $612,000 using funds generated from a voter-approved open space property tax mill levy in 1998 and 2000. It is one of 12 open spaces that Bernalillo County has purchased. Their whole commitment is to create an open space for the fauna and flora. On the west side of the 10 acres, the property is bordered by the Pajarito Acequia. Some sources say it dates back to mid-1600s or mid-1800s. The goal is to rehabilitate the property for adaptive reuses that include an agricultural demonstration farm, public open space with walking trails and wildlife viewing, cultural landscape preservation, exhibit space, historical displays and historical research, and a community gathering and meeting place. It took 10 years to renovate the house. Architecturally, it is very historic. Many people come to visit just for the architecture. The house has been listed on the State Register of Cultural Properties since 1976 for its architectural, historical, and cultural significance. Constructed in stages, it has facades, thresholds, walls, vigas, nichos, canales, windows, trim, and is characterized as New Mexico territorial architecture. The house is completely made of adobe. It has been used as a private residence, mercantile and agricultural center, post office, and Pajarito Village gathering place. Although land holdings once comprised some 45,000 acres reaching west to the Rio Puerco, today the historic Hubbell House at 6029 Isletas Southwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico, sits on 10 acres of county-owned property. The Committee to Save the Hubbell House morphed into the Hubbell House Alliance, which is a non-profit organization that formed in the late 1990s. Today, Bernalillo County and the Hubbell House Alliance have an agreement to 1. Develop educational programming that emphasizes the natural, agricultural, historic, cultural, and recreational aspects of the property. 2. Promote public awareness of the contributions made by the Gutierrez and Hubbell families in the regional history. And 3. To raise funds for the continual program development associated with the house and the surrounding farmland. The ultimate goal of the Gutierrez-Hubbell Alliance is to rehabilitate and preserve the Gutierrez-Hubbell House as a historical property. It is open to the community Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekly. I highly recommend that you take the time to visit. Thank you for joining us today as we glance at a piece of New Mexico history.